Claressa, you're all on my mind. Oh, Rissa, you're one of a kind. Oh, Rissa, you better watch that married man, girl, because he's playing you, Rissa. He's intensely dead. Oh, Rissa, you don't know what you get. Oh, let me be quiet. Let me leave my sister.
Y'all, the internet just exploded, and you won't believe what just came out of Tasha K's latest live podcast. Fans thought they knew the story, but what she revealed will hit you like a thunderbolt. Claressa Shields, the rising star, the undefeated champion, the girl everyone looked up to, allegedly, she's been used. Not by just anyone, but by the people she trusted, the ones who were supposed to have her back. Fame, money, love, everything she thought was real, might have been nothing more than a calculated scheme. According to Tasha K, Remy Ma and Papoose weren't just friends or allies. They allegedly orchestrated a plan to use Claressa for her image, her wins, her clean reputation. All while hiding mountains of unpaid taxes, debt stacking up over a decade, and pressure mounting behind the cameras. What fans saw on social media, interviews, public appearances, perfect smiles, perfect couple vibes, was only the surface. Behind the scenes, Claressa was being maneuvered like a pawn, slowly realizing that the love she thought she had might have been a mask for someone else's financial survival. And then came the bombshell. Allegedly, Papoose was involved in a secret affair, the kind of betrayal that shatters trust and destroys everything. The power couple image? Gone. The fairy tale? Crumbled. Claressa Shields reportedly collapsed under the emotional weight, realizing that the dreams she had were being used to cover debts, scandals, and hidden agendas. Now she's stepping back, silent, aware, and shaken. And the internet? It's split. Some say it's just gossip, but others know where there's smoke, there's fire. The big question still hangs in the air. Was Claressa Shields truly just a pawn in someone else's game? Or is this the beginning of a scandal so explosive that it will change everything we thought we knew about fame, trust, and betrayal in the celebrity world? Hold on to your seats, because after Tasha K's live podcast, nothing will ever look the same again.
Hey, Auntie, I want you to meet, his name's Papoose. You said his name is what? Pap what? Pap Smith? What you bringing in my house named Pap Smith for? Who is this? James, who is this? She got a nigga up in the house named Pap Smith. Is you a woman? What he doing? You already know. I don't want nothing. He ain't. Well, you ain't met him. I don't need to meet him. I can smell that he ain't shit. That's how I am, y'all. That's really how I am. I see something that you can't see. Can't never win no number. I win by the $100, but I know the nigga when I see one, I can smell it. He don't mean no good, Rissa. He don't mean no good. He ain't got no money, I can tell.
Y'all, the internet just erupted, and what Tasha K dropped in her latest live podcast is beyond shocking. Fans thought they knew Claressa Shields' story, her rise, her wins, her image as the untouchable champion, but what unfolded live on stream left everyone stunned, speechless, and questioning everything they thought they knew. According to Tasha K, the love Claressa believed in, the trust she placed in Papoose and Remy Ma, was allegedly nothing more than a calculated strategy, a game of fame, money, and power where Claressa was merely a pawn. It all started as subtle hints. Tasha K revealed that Claressa slowly began to see the cracks. The smiles, the public appearances, the interviews, all carefully curated, all a perfect facade hiding a deeper, darker reality. Behind closed doors, allegedly, Papoose had been dodging taxes for over a decade, and Remy Ma herself reportedly owed the IRS more than $600,000. Together, they were drowning in debts totaling millions, and according to Tasha K, their survival depended on maintaining a flawless public image, and Claressa Shields' rising fame became the perfect shield for their financial and legal chaos. The fans who idolized Claressa for her undefeated streak had no idea what was happening off camera. According to Tasha K., her clean reputation, her championship wins, her innocence in the public eye, all allegedly exploited to cover up a massive financial crisis. Slowly, Claressa began to realize she wasn't part of a love story. She was part of a survival plan. And then came the most shocking revelation. The tension reached a fever pitch when Tasha K. herself described the explosive details. The words she spoke live sent shockwaves across social media.
In the mall, you know, at the Louis Vuitton store, and you bought the Louis Vuitton duffel bag, and then you had to give him the Louis Vuitton box that you bought to give to you as if he bought it for you, and you forgot that you put the receipt online showing that you bought a duffel bag, a Louis Vuitton duffel bag, and it's like, did she just give him the gift to give to her, to act like the things that we're telling her that he ain't got no money? He is gifting you his jewelry.
Fans immediately began dissecting every public appearance, every social media post, searching for the hidden signals of a scandal they hadn't known existed. Back on the podcast, Tasha K. didn't hold back. Allegedly, the silent collapse of Claressa Shields was no accident. According to sources, after learning about a secret affair between Papoose and Tasha, the power couple image they had so meticulously constructed crumbled. Masks fell, trust evaporated, and Claressa was left emotionally shattered, realizing the love she thought she had been experiencing was merely a smokescreen for a much bigger, darker scheme. Fame, loyalty, and love all allegedly slipping away, controlled by debts and hidden agendas orchestrated by the very people Claressa thought she could trust. And in the wake of these revelations, Claressa allegedly withdrew from public life, silent, contemplative, and fully aware of the manipulation that had shaped her reality. Tasha K. claimed that while many dismissed it as gossip, the cracks in the narrative were undeniable. The internet split into factions, some refusing to believe the allegations, others convinced that the smoke pointed to an inferno behind the scenes. The most burning question remains, was Claressa Shields truly just a pawn in a dangerous game? Or is this all simply the latest viral rumor, designed to ignite chaos, debates, and clicks? One thing is certain, after Tasha K.'s live podcast, the world will never look at Claressa Shields, Papoose, or Remy Ma the same way again. Every championship win, every smile on the red carpet, every interview is now viewed through the lens of suspicion, betrayal, and a dark, meticulously hidden truth. As this part closes, the stage is set for a storm of emotions, social media uproar, and viral scrutiny. Claressa Shields' story is no longer just a tale of triumph in the ring. It has become a saga of deception, secrecy, and the crushing weight of fame exploited by those she trusted the most. Y'all, just when you thought part 1 couldn't get any darker, the revelations from Tasha K.'s live podcast took a hard, shocking turn. What seemed like a story about a rising star and her love life is now unraveling into a full-blown saga of manipulation, deceit, and secret financial schemes. Claressa Shields' world, once glittering with victories and admiration, is allegedly crumbling from the inside out, and Tasha K. didn't hold back. As fans absorbed the first wave of revelations, new layers emerged. According to Tasha K., Claressa's image as a disciplined, focused champion was strategically leveraged to mask massive debts and unresolved financial issues. Remy Ma and Papoose, the very people she trusted, were allegedly using her fame as a shield, a distraction for the public, while they faced mounting IRS claims, liens, and legal pressure. Every trophy, every red carpet smile, every interview was meticulously calculated to maintain the illusion of perfection. And then came the next shocking twist. Tasha K. alleged that the manipulation wasn't just financial, it was deeply personal. Claressa, in her trust and naivety, was allegedly caught in a web of emotional games. The podcast claimed that while the world saw a power couple, behind closed doors, secrets festered. Claressa's victories were not just celebrated, they were weaponized. Each win allegedly boosted the public image of Remy Ma and Papoose, while quietly covering over their debts, hidden affairs, and internal chaos.
So I don't know whose team you think I'm on, but I'm on your team. And like I said, Papoose and Remy spent time together on Christmas. I got pictures of them together. I ain't even dropped those yet. The daughter ain't nowhere near around. But you got $8 million. I got $8 million. I got $8 million. No, you don't. I already got people running the background docs on Win Records on Papoose's position. It's only a matter of time before I drop that. I got PIs on that too.
The internet immediately went into overdrive. Fans dissected every social media post, every video appearance, every handshake, looking for clues that might confirm or deny Tasha K.'s claims. Meanwhile, Claressa Shields, reportedly shaken, began to take a step back from the public eye. She allegedly realized that the love she believed in was nothing more than a calculated tactic, a cover for the financial and personal agendas of people she once trusted. Tasha K's podcast continued to pour fuel onto the fire. Allegedly, Papoose's decade-long tax evasion, combined with Remy Ma's $600,000 IRS debt, created a pressure cooker situation. The duo, in desperate need of a spotless public image, allegedly relied on Claressa's rising fame to distract fans and media alike. And according to Tasha K, every championship win, every media appearance, every sponsorship deal Claressa signed was quietly used to uphold the illusion of normalcy while the financial storm raged behind the scenes. And it wasn't just about money. According to the podcast, Claressa's trust and emotional investment were also exploited. Reports claim that after the revelation of a secret affair involving Papoose, Claressa's emotional collapse was inevitable. The betrayal reportedly shattered her trust, dismantled her perception of the relationship, and exposed the strategic nature of her surroundings. Fans could barely comprehend the layers of deception. The podcast alleged that Claressa's career, her victories, her spotless reputation were weaponized. Every accolade she earned supposedly served someone else's agenda. Tasha K claimed that what the public saw as love, commitment, and loyalty was actually a carefully crafted strategy, one that Claressa only began to understand after the painful reality surfaced. And then came the social media storm. Clips from the podcast spread like wildfire, tweets exploded, Instagram stories dissected every word. Opinions were divided. Some fans dismissed it as gossip, while others were convinced that Tasha K had unveiled the harsh truth behind Claressa's perfect life. Allegedly, the depth of betrayal, personal, financial, and emotional, had never been fully visible to the public until this moment. The narrative grew darker as Tasha K alleged more details. Sources claim that the power couple image projected by Remy Ma and Papoose was a carefully orchestrated performance. Every public appearance, every media narrative, every fan interaction, all designed to maintain their facade. Meanwhile, Claressa Shields was being maneuvered as a shield against the mounting public scrutiny of their debts and secret lives. The podcast also hinted at the emotional toll. Claressa reportedly began feeling like a pawn in someone else's game. Her rising fame, her championship wins, her public admiration, instead of empowering her, were exploited to mask the pressures and failures of those around her. Every handshake, every interview, every social appearance was part of a larger, unseen narrative, and Claressa, allegedly, was the centerpiece. As video of this unfolding saga continues, the audience is left questioning everything. The live podcast painted a picture of betrayal, manipulation, and emotional devastation. Allegedly, Claressa Shields' life was not her own. It was intertwined with debts, secret affairs, and calculated schemes that were never meant for public eyes. And while some fans still cling to hope that the allegations are exaggerated, others can't shake the feeling that the smoke reveals a fire of epic proportions. Tasha K's revelations, especially the second interview clip, suggest that Claressa's emotional and professional collapse wasn't a coincidence. It was allegedly part of a long, strategic play designed to maintain appearances, protect finances, and control public perception. Now, Claressa Shields faces a moment of reckoning. According to Tasha K, she has allegedly started to reclaim her agency, stepping away from the people who exploited her trust, while the internet continues to dissect every detail of the scandal. Every interview, every statement, every social media post is now being viewed under a lens of suspicion, betrayal, and financial manipulation. This video concludes with the chilling realization: what appeared to be love, loyalty, and partnership was allegedly a calculated facade. Claressa Shields, once untouchable, is now at the center of a storm where fame, trust, and betrayal collide. And as Tasha K's live podcast ignites further scrutiny, the public is left asking, how much of the life we admired was truly Claressa's, and how much was orchestrated by those she trusted the most? The story continues to unfold, as this video will delve even deeper into the shocking aftermath, the hidden financial games, and Claressa's next steps in a world that's no longer black and white, but a shadowy maze of betrayal, secrets, and viral drama. Y'all, just when you thought the story couldn't get any more twisted, Part 3 peeks behind the final curtain of betrayal, secrets, and explosive revelations. Claressa Shields' journey, once celebrated as a tale of triumph and fame, is now exposed as a storm of manipulation, deception, and emotional devastation. Tasha K's latest live podcast didn't just reveal gossip, it dismantled an entire narrative built around trust, loyalty, and public perception. According to Tasha K, the alleged exploitation of Claressa Shields wasn't a one-time act, it was a carefully calculated strategy. Remy Ma and Papoose, whose names have been tied to mounting IRS debts, secret financial deals, and alleged personal betrayals, reportedly used Claressa's fame as a shield to maintain their image. Every public appearance, every championship celebration, and every social media post was allegedly orchestrated to distract the world while their internal chaos intensified. Fans across social media exploded with shock, disbelief, and speculation. Allegedly, Claressa Shields had invested not just her trust, but her heart, only to realize that her rising fame and reputation were being weaponized against her. Tasha K's podcast suggested that Claressa, once oblivious to the financial and emotional manipulation surrounding her, began to see the full picture, and the reality was devastating.
From sleeping with a man that's sleeping with more women than you. And I don't wish that on you. But pap smear, he gonna cause you to get a series of pap smears with the rotational women that he's messing with, including in my...
This clip, though brief, encapsulates the dark reality Claressa Shields allegedly faced. While the world admired her as a champion, Tasha K claimed the behind-the-scenes story was a web of deception and calculated moves. Fans and media analysts began to question everything. Was Claressa ever really in control of her own career and relationships, or had she been an unwitting pawn in a much larger scheme? According to the podcast, the fallout from the alleged secret affair and financial exploitation was catastrophic. Claressa's emotional collapse, her sudden retreat from public life, and her reported silence are all signs of the immense pressure she faced. Tasha K suggested that Claressa's rise to fame had been co-opted to serve someone else's survival plan, a combination of debt concealment, image management, and strategic manipulation. The internet naturally erupted. Social media platforms were flooded with analysis, fan theories, and heated debates. Some defended Claressa Shields, claiming she had been unfairly victimized by people she trusted most. Others debated whether Tasha K's allegations were exaggerated or taken out of context. But the most shocking element remained: Claressa's growing realization that her entire narrative, the love, the loyalty, the victories, had been exploited. The podcast also alleged that Remy Ma and Papoose, desperate to protect their financial interests, had orchestrated situations to manipulate Claressa emotionally. Every public appearance was allegedly monitored and controlled to maintain their image. Claressa, unknowingly, was used as the perfect front to shield them from scrutiny. Tasha K claimed that the magnitude of the betrayal became painfully clear when the secret affair was revealed, a relationship hidden in plain sight, which ultimately undermined Claressa's trust and emotional well-being. As this video continues, Tasha K outlined the aftermath. Claressa Shields, now aware of the manipulation, reportedly began distancing herself from both the people and the power dynamics that had exploited her. According to insiders, she realized that fame, victory, and trust were commodities others had been trading without her consent. The emotional toll was deep, leaving Claressa to process the dual heartbreak of love and career betrayal. And just when the public thought the story had reached its peak, Tasha K's podcast dropped another bombshell. The allegations of unpaid taxes and financial debts weren't just minor discrepancies. They were enormous, multi-year obligations that allegedly created a constant pressure cooker behind the scenes. Claressa Shields, the rising star, reportedly became collateral damage in a financial chess game designed to protect the images of Remy Ma and Papoose. Fans, analysts, and gossip news outlets began digging deeper. Every past interview, every championship celebration, every social media highlight reel was re-examined for signs of manipulation. Tasha K's live podcast framed Claressa's emotional and professional struggles as the inevitable consequences of a carefully orchestrated betrayal, a betrayal hidden behind smiles, public appearances, and media narratives. And in this faceless documentary tone, the story took on a dark, suspenseful edge. The narrative wasn't just about celebrity gossip, it was about the systemic exploitation of trust, image, and fame. Claressa Shields had allegedly been positioned as a pawn in a game of financial survival, personal deception, and media manipulation, a revelation that shook fans to the core. By the end of the podcast, Tasha K reportedly concluded that Claressa Shields was reclaiming control, stepping back from the manipulators and beginning to see the full scope of the betrayal. But the damage had been done, trust shattered, relationships fractured, and the public left questioning what had been real versus what had been orchestrated. The final shocker, according to Tasha K, was the emotional aftermath. Claressa Shields' silence, her retreat, and the tension surrounding her public appearances are allegedly evidence of the enormous psychological burden she carries. Every accolade, every victory, every public smile now carries a dual meaning, a celebration of success and a reminder of manipulation. As this video closes, the podcast framed the ultimate question: was Claressa Shields ever truly in control of her narrative, her career, and her relationships? Or was she a pawn in a calculated, high-stakes game designed to shield others from accountability? Tasha K's revelations, the interviews, and the unfolding social media storm all suggest a story far more complex, emotional, and viral than anyone could have imagined. The stage is now set for Claressa's next chapter. Fans continue to speculate, investigators and journalists keep probing, and the public watches as this dark saga of fame, betrayal, and manipulation reaches its explosive conclusion. And the final takeaway, according to Tasha K., is simple yet devastating. In the glittering world of fame and success, not everything is as it seems, and sometimes, the brightest stars are the ones being used to hide the shadows behind the scenes. Y'all, what just unfolded isn't just a story. It's a masterclass in betrayal, deception, and manipulation. Claressa Shields, a woman the world cheered for, now stands in the eye of a storm she never saw coming. Every victory, every championship, every public smile, allegedly used as a shield for someone else's debts, someone else's secrets. The people she trusted most, the names that carried weight, fame, and power are accused of turning her life into a chessboard where she was nothing more than a pawn. And it's not just the heartbreak, it's the slow, suffocating realization that love, loyalty, and trust can be weaponized. Imagine climbing to the top, only to realize the ladder you're on was leaning against someone else's tower all along. Fame and fortune, glory and recognition, all double-edged swords. The whispers in Tasha K's live podcast aren't just gossip, they're allegations that shake the very foundation of everything Claressa believed about her world. Secret affairs, unresolved debts, financial schemes, emotional manipulation. The narrative that once inspired millions now feels like a trap. The most chilling part? Claressa's silence. Her retreat. The quiet aftermath of a public life suddenly turned private nightmare. When the lights dim and the cameras stop rolling, what's left is raw, unfiltered pain. The public sees the victories, the smiles, the perfect image, but the truth allegedly hidden behind those smiles is darker than anyone could imagine. And as fans, we're left piecing together a story that's far more twisted, far more sinister than any headline could capture. So, watch closely, question everything, and don't take appearances at face value. This saga isn't over, it's just evolving. Claressa Shields' fight isn't in the ring, it's in reclaiming the truth, exposing betrayal, and finally taking back control. And the world? We'll be watching, hearts racing, as the shadows behind the fame finally start to emerge. This is a cautionary tale, a scandal, a tragedy, and the shockwaves are far from fading.